Ask, buy, try, store. Why am I making this video? I really try to making these videos short. Take great efforts to try to make most of them short. A lot of them are pretty obvious. Some of them are just things we all need to be reminded of, but ask, buy, try, store is something that I want to preach to you today specifically because I had another experience with ask, buy, try, store. I am a firm believer in asking around to find out what other people's experiences have been. That's why YouTube is such a valuable asset to me. When I want to learn something, I want to see how everybody else has done it. I want to see what their results were. I want to get their opinion. I want to get all the information I can before I make a decision. So I ask first. I gather information. You can call it search, ponder, and pray, which is another thing that I sort of preach. But ask, buy, try, store, I think is especially valuable when you're purchasing food storage items. And I'm going to give you a little example here. The first item that I bought in this category, I showed one other time before, but since I had double experience, I'm going to show it to you again. This is a name brand baking powder that I bought at a warehouse club. And I think it was $3 or $4 or $5, and it's under 4 pounds. It looks like 3.75 pounds, and it's aluminum free, which is what I was looking for. I didn't want a baking powder that had aluminum in it. I brought this home and I baked with it, and I don't know if it was the product, but I didn't like the way my cookies tasted. And I had another brand that I had in the cupboard for a long time and used it all up. It will probably keep a lot longer than they say it will keep, so I hang on to my stuff even though it's past the best use by date. So then I went to another supplier and I bought another name brand of baking powder, and this one is 5 pounds. It cost me a little bit more money. These were still, both of them were under 10. I'm pretty sure they were in the $5 to $9 range. I'm sorry, I may have given you the prices on a previous video. At any rate, they're both double acting and they're both free of aluminum. So I opened this one today and I made a lovely batch of chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. And they smelled great, and I still thought I tasted an odd taste, but it could be me. I'm not condemning either one of these products, nor am I condoning or recommending them. But it just seemed to have an odd flavor again. It would probably be perfectly suitable in pancakes or muffins and probably not even noticeable. And it might not be the baking powder at all, but I'm going to hang on to these. Obviously, I'm not going to return them to the store, and I'm not going to throw them away, and they'll probably be good for several years. This one has the 2011. Oh no, it has a 2013, best if used by 2013, February. And I don't know if I can read this other one. It says best by July of 2012. So if I got busy baking, I could use them up, or I'm quite certain they would last longer. I could freeze them if I wanted to. Might not be a bad idea. However, I plan to spend a little bit of money and get 2 other kinds of baking powder. One is not a double acting baking powder. It has only baking soda and cornstarch in it. The cornstarch is presumably to keep it dry. So you might be just as well off if you're going to use the cheap baking powder, which I can get at a no frills grocery store in a small container. You might be just as well off to use baking soda. Now, I'm not an expert on that, and I will readily admit that, so I'm over 4 minutes with my opinion here. For me, I'm going to go to the store and spend whatever it takes to buy the one that I liked and have a few small containers of that on hand so that at least my cookies hopefully will taste the way I want them to. And like I said, nobody else noticed the taste in the cookies but me. And I'm sure these would be perfectly fine if I have a house full of people I want to feed muffins or cupcakes or cake or what was the other thing? Pancakes, waffles, and so forth. I'm sure it would be fine. So back to the topic very quickly. Ask, buy, try, store. Ask around and see what other people have had experiences with. Then buy a small quantity if you can. I didn't buy 6 of these. I could have bought 6 of these the first time out and been done with it. I have another one that I bought from a food storage company that's sealed up in a number 10 can, so I think I'm pretty well set for baking powder between the, and then I have baking soda besides. But try a small quantity if you can, or if you have a friend who has some and you can get a tablespoon of their baking powder and try it, or whatever the item is so ask around, buy a little bit or borrow a little bit, try the product, and then if you like it, go back and buy enough for your storage. Very, very obvious, but just something I wanted to kind of drive the nail home. And it's 5:57, almost 6 minutes. God bless your efforts to prepare. Thank you. Bye.